Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty.
Hi, I'm James. I'm 23. I'm a trainee accountant for a local London council.
What does your job as a trainee accountant actually involve?
Well, I support the other accountants who work in the borough. We receive a certain amount of money every year from the government, and we have to make sure that it's spent in the right way and that we're looking after the money of the people.
What sort of things do you do at work on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I prepare and present a lot of spreadsheets for projects that the borough are currently undertaking. Working on one at the moment where we're looking at the care we provide to people in the community who need it, seeing if we can perhaps save money or provide care for better value for money. I've done other projects, including one involving the parking in the borough. We wanted to make sure we were collecting as much money as possible and looking at the different ways of using that revenue that we've taken in.
What is it that you really enjoy about your job as a trainee accountant?
Well, I've always been quite passionate about mathematics, so it's good to be able to use that day to day in my job. I also live in the borough that I work in, so it's really nice to be able to see the results of the actions that I take. I have quite a nice social life at work, meet lots of nice and interesting people, and probably the most important thing is I get to work with the money side of things, which is what keeps the business going.
What sort of things do you find difficult about your job?
I'd say there's one main difficulty, and that's the pressure that you're put under. Obviously you're working with taxpayers' money, so you can't afford to be making mistakes, so therefore you have to make sure you've done all your calculations correctly and that all your actions are responsibly made.
How much can you earn as an accountant in the public sector?
Well, I'm currently on a trainee scheme. It takes 3 years to become a qualified accountant, and I have to pass 12 exams. Over these 3 years I can expect to earn between 25 to 32,000, and once I'm qualified it goes up to around 40,000. After that there's the chance to progress through management, and if you get right to the very top you can earn easily over 6 figures. This is quite similar in the private sector as well, however progression can be slightly quicker as there are more opportunities.
Quite often in TV and film, accountancy and finance is portrayed as quite a boring profession, as you'll see in this clip.
19. Thanks, man. What is Chandler Bing's job?
Oh, gosh! This has something to do with numbers and processing. Well, he carries a briefcase.
10 seconds. You need this or you lose the game.
It has something to do with transponding. Oh, he's a transponster! That's not even a word!
How do you respond to that?
Well, obviously accounting and finance isn't for everybody, but to say it's boring I don't think it's very fair. I mean, you need to have control of the finance to be successful in any business, whether it's music, sport. If you don't know what your money's being spent on, you're not going to be successful.
Why is maths important in your job?
But obviously in finance you're expected to know the numbers inside out, and you'll work with people who aren't necessarily used to working with numbers, so they just believe what's written on a piece of paper or what you've supplied with them. So you've got to be conscious of the fact that mistakes could be made and be able to pick up with them quickly, regardless of the fact if it's been done on a calculator or on a spreadsheet. You have to be aware that something might not look right and trust your instincts, and that comes through using numbers on a day-to-day basis.
How would somebody at school go about following in your footsteps into a career in accounting and finance?
Well, firstly I'd say good GCSE results are essential, especially in mathematics, which you're going to use for your career. Then you've got two choices. You can either go on to an apprenticeship scheme where you'll get paid as you study at a college and you take more exams and become more qualified as you go along, or if you've got the opportunity you should do maybe A-levels and go on to university. From there I studied accounting and finance, but any maths related degree could lead to you going on to one of the graduate schemes of one of the 3 main accounting bodies. There's CIMA, which is the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIPFA, which is what I do, which is for public finance accounting, and ACA, which is for chartered accounting in the private sector, and they regularly take people after university. Then you join a large company who hopefully will pay for your exams as you study and take your exams until you're fully qualified.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the benefits of your chosen career?
I think accounting is a very well respected career path for anyone who chooses to go down it. Once you're fully qualified, that's a profession that you can take anywhere in the world. It's very transferable and you'll always be sought after. Accountants are often looked for in places like Australia, America, China and Japan, and it's a really good opportunity to have a career that you can take with you wherever you go.
Girl said you hallelujah. Girl said you hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk